Hello everyone, and welcome back to Chef Sherry's Plant-Based Kitchen. The holiday of Christmas has passed, and now it's time to get serious about your health once again. I know holiday times are a time when many of us eat a little bit more maybe than we should, or some of the things that may not be as good for us. Dale and I are pretty good about it, but we've had a little bit of cake here and there over the holidays and different things. So we're going to talk today about a wonderful soup, because the theme for my week is going to be about beans. Why beans? Because beans are good for gut health. They provide your gut with beautiful bacteria that you need, with fiber, all these things that keep your body functioning beautifully. We're also going to focus on miso, which is another superfood for your gut. And what I use is a mellow white miso. It's a taste that most people love. It's not real strong. There are different kinds of miso, like a yellow and a red miso, which are a lot more pungent, but this one is mild. So this is a soup that I created years and years ago based on a soup that my mother used to make, but I've plantified it. It's all plant-based and it is just delicious. So come on over here, Dan. Let me show what I started to do. I cut up celery, carrots, and onions, and I just dry saute them in my pan. You see, I don't need any oil or any broth at this point to saute, because what happens with the onions is that they release water into the pot. So that's your saute base. So they've been sauteing for about 10 minutes, so we're ready to go. Let me just put my phone over here. All right, so after you get those sauteed, you're going to be amazed at how simple this soup is, and how big it is, and how long you'll be able to have it for. And yes, you can freeze it into individual containers, so when you're hungry and you need something fast, pull it out of the freezer, defrost it, and you're ready to go. So all we're going to do now is we're going to add my secret ingredient. This was my mom's secret ingredient too, parsnip. It looks like a potato, but it's not. And the smell, I can't even describe it. It's really delicious. It flavors this soup beautifully. So let's throw in the parsnip. And then I took one big potato, I peeled it and cut it into cubes. Now I used a white potato. I love how it thickens a soup, but you can use a sweet potato if you'd like, that's fine. Throw that into the pot. The next thing we're going to put in is a grain that I adore, and it's called farro. I'll show you what it looks like here. This is the package I get it in. You can find this at most grocery stores. And I'm going to use a half a cup of farro. I'm going to throw that in. That's our grain. Now, if you can't eat farro because it is a grain and you're gluten-free, throw in some quinoa or skip it all together and add a little bit more sweet potato or regular potato. Then we're going to add 1 can of salt-free, diced, fire-roasted tomatoes. This, again, gives it a wonderful flavor. So there they go. Then I'm going to take a can of organic corn. I'm going to throw that in. So it's all the things that my mom used to put into a vegetable soup that I just adored. Some peas, frozen peas can go in. I used, I think, a half a cup of peas. Let me get them all in. And then I took 2 kinds of beans. Now I make my own beans, so these are kidney beans, and they were frozen, so I defrosted them. They're ready to go in. There's a lot of beans in this soup, but again, you want that fiber in your diet. That's what keeps your gut working well. It helps your immune system. When you have a healthy gut, that's where it starts, right in the gut. You've got to take care of it so you have great bacteria ratio, the good versus the bad. Then we're going to add in, let's see, oh yeah, our seasoning is going to be some dried fennel. And again, this has a really pungent kind of taste, which I love. So we're going to throw that in. And then all you do is take 2 boxes of what I use, the Pacific brand organic vegetable broth, low sodium. I'm going to pour them in. And once I get this cooking, I even bought some parsley. You got parsley for me at the store, right, Bill? Mm-hmm. I'm going to chop some parsley up, and then I'm going to add that in too. I didn't have a chance to do that yet, but maybe I'll show you how I do that, and then we'll add it in, because it is pretty. It adds to the color as well. So I'm going to run over to my grocery bag and find it. It's the one thing I didn't get ready. Okay, so just take a look though at this soup. Can you come in and take a look? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's really colorful and it has everything in here for a full meal. You don't need to eat anything else with this soup. This will be great. So you can have it all week long if you want. You're doing your body a great favor. All right, I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to just grab my parsley. See if I can find it here. I see it. So Dale got me some nice parsley. And Dale, if you can come over here, we'll get the parsley out. Ooh, look at that. That's beautiful. Let me wash it up a little. Get it nice and clean. And all you have to do is just chop some off of here. You can get the stems into, it's fine. And then I just make it into smaller pieces by chopping up a little bit. And parsley, of course, gives it great flavor as well. Wonderful flavor. Get a little bit more going there. I love chopping. It's so therapeutic. Okay, come on back over here, Dale. We'll throw this into the soup. You saw that took all of, what, 1 minute maybe? Including opening up the package. Now I'm going to stir that parsley in and just let it cook. Now you might be wondering, well, where's the miso? Where's the miso? The miso will not go into a boiling soup. Miso is fermented soybeans, and this miso that we're using is not only fermented soybeans, it also contains, some organic handmade rice koji, which is organic rice with koji spores. So that's really wonderful. So we'll add this at the end because you can't boil this because it loses the effect of the nutrients. You don't want to boil it. So I'll show you how we do that as well. I'm going to cover this pot. Take one more look at that soup, Dale. Let me stir it up for everybody. I would cook this, I would say, maybe an hour. Not too high heat. Just let it simmer. The more that it cooks, the more the flavors will blend together. And then what you'll do at the end, and I'll show you how to do this, I'm going to take my miso and I'm going to get a bowl. Let me just rinse out my bean bowl here. We'll use this one. I'm simply going to take, see these bananas are ready to go into the freezer for banana and ice cream. I have to put those in the freezer later. I'm going to take, I think about, let's see, 1, 2, maybe 4 teaspoons of this, 4 heaping teaspoons of my miso. And I'm simply going to take a little water and I'm going to start to stir it up because we're going to make what is called a miso paste because you want something that's going to be thin enough that you can stir into the soup at the very end after you take it off the pot and it's cooked and it's no longer boiling. You're going to add this paste. Now you can see it's pretty thick still. We need more water in that. So I'll add a little bit more. Until I get it just right. That's still pretty thick. So you can see why I needed only like 4 teaspoons of this. It's going to go a long way in the soup. A little bit more. Oh yeah, now we're getting to the right consistency. So this will blend beautifully into the soup when it's time. In about an hour, we'll put that in. So I'll set this aside. There we go. Okay, and I'll just put this over here and we'll cover the soup pot and I'm going to let it cook on a very low heat for about an hour. And there it is, Sherry's vegetable bean miso soup. Have a wonderful day, everyone. We're going to be coming back for our next cooking demo, and I'll tell you what we're going to be making because it's really good. I'll tell you the name of it. It's, again, we're going to focus on the beans. It's a wheat berry and bean salad. If you haven't had wheat berries, you're going to love it. They have a wonderful texture to them and they go really well in salads. So we'll be doing that next time. Until then, see you later, everybody. Bye-bye.